Alright, what's up guys? New video today, very exciting. We are doing Kuribos. This is another one that's very requested. People love Kuribos. I've never seen such a passionate fan base in my life other than Kuribos. But, as always, if you enjoy this series, subscribe. Only 87% of you are subscribed and a lot of you watch. Also, more importantly, if there is a certain deck or a certain idea that you have that you want to see, list it in the comment section below. I do plan to get around to almost all of those suggestions, but as you know, these are long videos and they do take time to make, time to edit, all of that great stuff. But
time to research,
definitely research, because a lot of these decks, even though we play them, a lot of the cards in the archetype are actually not very good. Like, it'll be like 5 really good cards and there'll be like 15 bad ones, and you actually have to go back and look up the bad ones because I won't even remember them. But yeah, let's get started. Enough of that jibber jabber. Enough commercials. Let's get started. Right off the bat, we have Berserker Soul.
Berserker Crush.
Yep.
Berserker Crush. You quick effect. You can target Winged Kuribo you control, banish a monster from your graveyard, and that Winged Kuribo gains attack equal to that monster that you banish's attack. So if you have something like crazy in your graveyard, like the Dystopia guy who's like 5,000, or like Obelisk who's like 4,000, then you have like a really big Winged Kuribo, but like,
yeah,
it's just, you're probably gonna go first with this deck, and that's just not like, you just have to set it. There's too much setup. It's just not. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, there's some really bad cards. There's some really stinkers in this. So I think D tier is fair. It's not like outrageous. It's some real bad ones. This one isn't like that great, but it could definitely be very helpful.
I think some of the Kuribo spell and traps. I mean, well, spells. I think they'd be a lot better if they were searchable.
Yeah,
like if you could search that, like,
then it'd be a good one of.
Yeah, getting the Dystopian Grave probably isn't that difficult, but like, getting that in hand is like more difficult than getting something big in the graveyard. So that's the only issue with it. And getting the only Kuribo on the field. Flute of Summoning Kuribo.
Yeah, this is an A tier.
Definitely, really good card.
Possibly an S tier.
Quick effects. You can summon or add to your hand OG Kuribo or Winged Kuribo, and like, you're probably gonna add the Kuribo to hand unless you have multiplied. Then you'll just summon it for free off this card. And if you have Winged Kuribo, you're probably just going to summon it as like defense during your opponent's turn or something. But no matter how you look at it, it's just really good for like multiplying stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
this card's definitely one of the better cards. Possibly S tier, I mean.
And being a quick effect was just such a big plus too.
Transcendent Wings.
It's cool because it's a quick effect, but it's just the cost you need for it. I think it's definitely F tier.
F tier.
Because you have to send a Winged Kuribo to graveyard,
and then 2 cards.
Discard like 2 cards. That's just crazy.
So really, you have to spend 4 cards to summon 1 Winged Kuribo.
Yeah, you have to have this, the Winged Kuribo, and then 2 cards to get rid of.
Summon 1 Winged Kuribo level 10.
And like, Winged Kuribo level 10 is actually pretty good, but just the mannerisms you need to summon it is just
too extensive. And the other issue is his effect only activates during the battle phase.
Oh, we'll talk about him when we get to it.
I mean, we might as well. We might as well just move him up then.
Hey, don't yell at me.
Might as well just move him up, because his effect only activates during your opponent's battle phase. So if they're in main phase 1 and you summon the Link Kuribo level 10, or the Wing Kuribo level 10.
Link Kuribo level 10. Does he even have a level?
Well, neither does Kuribo.
Yes, he does. He's level 1.
So if you summon the
Wing Kuribo
level 10, and you're in your like opponent's main phase, they literally could just out it with like a Nightmare Unicorn, like anything that pops a monster, because its effect, although it's a quick effect, only activates in the battle phase anyway.
And if they're in the battle phase and you activate your Transcendent Wings, by the time they hit the battle phase, they'll have a negate or 2 or 7. So it's like, it's just way too late.
Yeah. But it is a good effect, though. What it does, basically, is during the battle phase, during your opponent's battle phase, you can tribute it, and then you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and inflict damage to them equal to the total attack of those monsters.
Which is pretty crazy.
Which is pretty crazy, because it's almost always going to be game, because no one's going to enter the battle phase with less than 8,000, so it's almost like guaranteed for you to win. But the issue is, more than likely, this card is actually going to get popped before they even get into their battle phase.
And it also has to destroy, and there's so much protection going on, dragoons and whatnot. That's a little tough, but then it's just like, but just destroying everything else is going to be a lot of damage anyway, if it goes through.
So where are you placing this? F2?
I think if we ignore the summoning condition, because one day they might actually just have like a better summoning card.
No, it says Transcendent Wings, unless it says one day ignoring summoning conditions.
Yeah, you're right.
It has Transcendent Wing. As of right now, I have to review it as it is right now. Not as it will be in the future.
Yeah, too bad. It's actually pretty good.
Rainbow Kuribo. This is probably a B tier, right?
I'd say it's A tier because that
It's
one.
A tier too. All right.
Because that one, what's it called? He equips onto a monster when they attack, and then you can summon. Well, not summon him. You equip him onto your opponent's monster, and that monster cannot attack at all while it's equipped. And then from the graveyard, it just banishes. You summon it, and then it gets banished when it leaves the field, just to protect you from one attack. But that first effect is actually really cool, because if they summon something really scary, like they summon like a Boral Sword,
Yep.
and they're gonna be trying to go for game. But if you just Rainbow Kuribo it, it's not gonna do anything to disrupt you, and it's just gonna be there, just not being able to do anything really. So it's like it can really save you from some attacks. The only problem is that it targets.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid for keeping the game slow as the deck would.
Next is Sphere Kuribo. It's probably a C tier.
Yeah, it's really bad, but it's like it blocks an attack. Yeah.
It doesn't even block an attack. It changes their battle position.
Yeah, it makes them when they attack, you just make them to defense.
Yeah.
But it has a weird second effect. Absolutely has nothing to do with the deck.
Yeah.
From the graveyard, if you ritual summon, it can be used as part of the tribute. It's a level 1 monster, unless you're playing like
Relinquished.
Relinquished is just like it's just not going to be good.
This is one of the best cards in speed duels though.
Yeah.
Because they use the whole Relinquish turbo, so you just use this every single time, and
you block an attack.
Yeah, block an attack, and then you summon a Relinquish and steal your opponent's monster. Because it's a level 1, so it fills the whole requirement of the summoning requirement.
It's
basically.
gonna speed duels S tier.
Yeah, if it was speed duels, yeah, definitely S tier.
If that was S tier, everything else would just be like 4 S tier compared to it. But yeah, what's that next?
Next is Wing Kuribo level 9.
Yeah, this one.
I think this is another D tier because it has to be chain link 3 or higher, which seems like it happens a lot, but when you're actually trying to force these chain links, it's actually not that easy to do. And sometimes you have an unresponsive opponent. Generally speaking, relying on your opponent to do stuff is not a great thing.
Yeah, and if you're doing it yourself, then you have to open
too many cards.
Yeah, like a regular spell and like a quick play spell. Which even though all these spells are quick play spells, they rely on having stuff. So it's like there's just too much to get it out. And once you do get it out, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it because all its effect is from then on, every spell card that is activated is banished instead. But for every spell card in your opponent's graveyard, it gains 500 attack, which is it's not enough. It's just not enough because it's like how many spell cards could they possibly have? Like 5 max, 6, 7. Like at what point does it become worth it? And I don't think we're gonna get an answer for that question because I don't think it's ever really gonna be all that worth it. Next is Junk Kuribo. This card is C tier just because it's power crap by another card.
In the archetype.
Yeah, inside the archetype. It's not like power crap by some other random card. But as a hand trap, it's actually not like terrible. Because basically when your opponent activates an effect that would inflict effect damage, you can discard this card and then negate and destroy. So in theory, it's not like a bad card, but there's literally a card in the deck that does this in a better way, which is the Clear Kuribo.
When your opponent activates an effect that would inflict damage, you can discard that card and just negate it. It doesn't destroy, but it just negates it. But if you activate like a spell or something, it's like whatever. And it has a graveyard effect, which what makes it a lot better. And when your opponent attacks directly, you can banish it from your graveyard, draw a card, and if it's a monster, you can special summon it, and then redirect the attack to that. So most of the time, you're gonna hopefully top deck into another Kuribo monster. So it's like you just keep deflecting and whatnot. If not, you get a card. So it's like you can't even be all that upset about it. But it's just way better than the other guy.
Yeah, because at least you get something else. The only benefit that Junk Kuribo has is that
it destroys.
Yeah, it destroys, and this does not. But so there's a lot more important things to worry about with this deck. Regular Kuribo.
I think we're gonna have to put it in A because you're definitely running 3.
Yeah, you run 3
Kuribos, 3 flutes. Just not because he's good. He's actually like one of the
He's one of the most underwhelming.
Yeah, he just makes battle damage become 0 from discarding.
For one attack.
Yeah, from discarding.
And he's one of the earliest hand traps. One of the.
I think he's the first.
There are random ones. What was he, Metal Raiders? He could be. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. It's very possible that he's the first hand trap. But there's other random hand traps. I don't remember exactly, but it's possible. But anyway, you need to run them just because.
Yeah, just because of multiply.
Yeah, you need them for fluid summoning Kuribos, multiply, some stuff like that. Multiply. This is most likely going to be the only S tier. This card is very, very good. You tribute a Kuribo and summon any number of tokens to your side of the field, which will always be as many as possible, 5. And then it allows you to go into absolutely outrageous
and there's no
link
restrictions
plays.
on those tokens.
And this card's a quick play, by the way, so you can actually activate it during your opponent's turn.
Which works with another card, but like summoning 5 tokens with it's better than Scapegoat, and you and you're not locked into anything. Like you can just link all 5 of them into like Dark Fluid and lose. But you can like link all 5 of them into like actual like good things. Like you can end on like Predator Plant, Dragoon, and like Link Kuribo, stuff
And it's
like
not
that.
once per turn.
Yeah.
So if you open 2 of them, you can actually use them both.
Well, you have to get 2 Kuribos on the
Yeah,
field. It's kind of tough. You have to open Kuribo and Flute.
If you open Kuribo, Flute, and 2 of these, you can still use all that stuff.
With all those quick plays, you can even open level 9 and summon them.
No, we're not summoning level 9.
But yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's the best card in the deck. It's one of the main reasons to play the deck at all.
And it's like, you might even be like, oh, you can't search it. It's Kuribo. You're just going to stall out until you get it. So it's completely fine, honestly.
Next is Link Kuribo. This is an A tier.
I think high A tier.
Above regular Kuribo?
Yeah. Because
Even
even
Flute Summoning Dragon? I mean,
Flute Summoning Dragon.
Flute of Summoning Kuribos?
I think so. Because Link Kuribo is just...
it's really good.
He's the easiest...
He's like a playmaker.
Yeah, he's the easiest one to go into. And then he's actually very necessary for Multiply, because they're all like... they're all normal level 1s.
Yeah.
So you just like get a bunch of Link Kuribos out, and
you can use a graveyard effect to bring them back by tributing the token on the field.
And what's it called? The making an attack become 0. I don't think that's once per turn, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not once per turn.
Yeah.
If you have 2 Link Kuribos, you can block 2 attacks.
Oh, you can block 1 attack twice, but
Make it 0 twice.
Yeah, negative. But yeah, you can get multiple of those out and like use them as Link fodder, or even just like summon like a big ass Dragoon and just have like a bunch of Link Kuribos. Like, how are they going to get over Dragoon and like 2 Link Kuribos? That's just like impossible. I don't care what you have to say. It's just, what are you going to do, man? Like, honestly.
Kaiju.
Like, come on. Let's calm down.
And next is Relink Kuribo. Where would you put this guy?
I'd say either...
This is the one that tributes and has the effect, right? Top of C tier?
Yeah, C tier.
Because he works good with Link Kuribo.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's kind of
Yeah, when he's tributed, you can draw a card, and then he gives battle protection, or being destroyed by a battle from the graveyard that you banish him to protect, which is like, those are 2 really like cool effects, because you get to keep something on the field again, and you get to block for another attack or whatever, and then you get to draw on a card just for getting a Link Kuribo on the field. But the only problem with that is that like, you have to already have the Link Kuribo set up, and you have to normal summon him. There's not really like special summons other than like 1 for 1. It's at 1.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, he just requires too much, and like whatever you draw is just not going to be that like impactful that it's going to like change the world. So yeah, I wouldn't even like run him that much or at all.
Next is Winged Kuribo. Probably top of B tier.
B tier, yeah, because
yeah,
he probably has the best effect
on field.
Because he stops the rest
of the turn.
Yeah, all damage for the rest of the turn. He's just to be destroyed, which is like, I think it's by battle or
by battle. Yeah, if he's destroyed by battle for the rest of the turn, no more battle damage, which is pretty good. And he's easy to summon off of the flute of summoning Kuribos and stuff like that.
If the winged guys were a lot better, then he would be definitely higher, because he actually does have a really good effect.
It sucks that the level 9 and level 10 are so bad, because there's 2 different directions you go with this deck. You can go the multiply route with the old Kuribo, or you can go with the level 9 and level 10 with the winged Kuribo, but unfortunately that route is just so much worse. It would be nice if this guy just counted as a regular Kuribo also. Mm-hmm. That way he'd be compatible with the multiply, but unfortunately you do have to run the regular OG. Next is, what's this one again? I actually don't remember the name, because this one hasn't come out in the TCG.
I think that one was Kuribo. That's the one.
Something weird. It's good though. Its effects are good. I probably B tier also.
I'd say he's A tier, like
A
bottom
tier?
of A, yeah.
Bottom of A, alright.
Because he when your opponent declares an attack, you can discard him and then summon a monster from either player's graveyard, which is really cool because you can summon something crazy from their graveyard, or you can summon back another one of your like winged Kuribos or random Kuribos that'll block an attack and stuff like that. But his second effect is actually kind of cool. When he's destroyed, you can search for Monster Reborn at the end of the turn, which sounds kind of slow, but you're gonna set him and it's Kuriboh's anyway. So Monster Reborn is just at any time just gonna summon back for you, like whatever you want.
Performing Pal Kuriboh is next.
I'd say like bottom of
B.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Because
because
a fair one.
what's it called? When your opponent declares a direct attack, you can summon him from your hand, and then whatever battle damage you take is just you gain that instead.
Yeah.
So he's kind of cool because you get some life points back if you like missed a few things. But there's just better Kuribo effects to just block attacks and stuff.
Kuriboh.
That one,
This one's pretty good, actually.
that one might be S. That might be stretching a little bit because
Yeah.
he actually, I don't know, because
We're
he
not
actually
going over the top. S is the only card good enough to be S is this right here. I don't think there's anything else that's gonna be S.
because he summons.
Probably above Rainbow. Right there.
It's fair.
It's fair.
Well, what's it called? Yeah, when you're at the end of the battle phase, you can discard him, and then summon back a monster you control, a monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle this turn. But like that's kind of That's very underwhelming. The cool effect is when he's already in the graveyard and your opponent declares an attack, you can summon any number of Kuribohs from your graveyard. So like you can just summon back like a regular Kuriboh to set up for multiply if you have it in your hand. You can summon back things like on Kuriboh to search for Monster Reborn when it gets destroyed again, and Winged Kuriboh to block all damage. Just a bunch of the cool monsters. You can summon back Relink Kuriboh and then Link Kuriboh it back. You can summon Link Kuriboh back from it too, which is cool. Just so many things, so many options. It's actually a really cool card. You can go from like nothing on the field to 5 monsters.
Fine.
All right.
It's really good. Philosopher's Stone.
That's like
That's F tier.
yeah.
It has no synergy with the deck
Yeah.
at all.
If you have Winged Kuriboh in your graveyard, you
Yes.
can activate that, pay half your life points,
Yeah.
search for a polymerization or any fusion spell.
Which this deck doesn't fuse at all.
Yeah, if it did fuse, it'd be
It'd be a decent
kind of
card.
cool. Yeah, and then if you have 3 of those in your graveyard, you can banish them, and then a monster you control gains attack equal to the monster with the highest attack, which is it's like Berserker Crush, but actually worse.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like the anime effect. We were talking about it. We don't remember what it is, but we remember it was significantly more impactful than this effect.
Yeah, it like helped them beat
Somebody
the
important.
Sacred Beast. Yeah, it was a Sacred Beast guy.
The Sacred Beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this effect is just so to give up that much to search a fusion spell, or
I think even the teacher gave it to him too. There's just so
yeah,
much with the
there was so much
Philosopher's
involved
Stone.
with this card, but it's just so bad in the actual it's not even that it's that bad of a card. It's a decent it searches a polymerization or fusion spell, which technically isn't that bad, other than having a Winged Kuriboh on field. It's really not that bad of a cost.
I think it was in the graveyard.
In the graveyard? Yeah, in the graveyard. It's really not that bad of a cost, but it's just this deck doesn't fuse. that's the main issue with it. Generation Next, a top of C tier.
Yeah.
This card's actually pretty cool. So for the life point difference that you have between your life points and your opponent's, as long as your life points are lower, you can special summon or add to hand either a Neospatian Elemental Hero or, most importantly, a Kuriboh monster. But
I think it was specifically Winged Kuriboh.
It's specifically Winged Kuriboh?
I think so, because this was supposed to be a Jaden card, and he only had.
It's
Winged
possible. It's possible.
Kuriboh. It's possible.
It's
I don't
possible.
remember though.
But the point is, you summon one of them, and then for the rest of the turn, you can't activate that monster's effects, which isn't that great, but
it's like another search card.
Yeah, it's
for
another search
Kuriboh, because you're just gonna multiply it out and stuff like that. If it is Kuriboh, if it's a Winged Kuriboh, you can just add it to your hand and just set it the next turn.
yeah. But either way, it's another search card. It just needs a life point difference, which, in all fairness, you could very likely have anyway, because you're stalling the entire game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's halfway good, I'd say. Detonate is better than Berserker Soul. It's an interesting card because it's like a cool disruption. But I don't know. You'd rather use the tokens and the Kuribohs for other stuff than blowing them up in order to pop your opponent's cards.
You could pop a lot from it too, though.
Yeah.
That's like what's cool about it. You can
You can pop 5 cards.
yeah,
Non-targeting.
if they have a back row deck and they just they set 3 or 4 and they have a monster or 2 on the field, then you just end phase, just multiply, tribute your Kuriboh, and then detonate the tokens and just pop everything. And they just lose so much at that point. but yeah, I don't know. Probably just like
Yeah, it's probably better
Just
just to make
linking
Dragoon and stuff.
yeah.
Next is Curry Bandit. I mean Curry. Was it Curry? Yeah, Curry Bandit. It's not Kuribo in name,
Yeah, but
it's decent effects.
just
Like,
in the likeness too.
yeah, I'd say C, bottom of C. Like it's a decent effect because you summon it, and then the turn it's summoned, you can mill the top 5 cards of your deck during the end phase.
We actually excavate them.
Yeah, you excavate them. Well, technically they're gonna get milled anyway, but you excavate them, and then you can pick a spell or trap card, add it to your hand, and then send the rest to the graveyard. So they're gonna get to the graveyard anyway, but
It's a really slow effect, but it's
very
like
slow.
it's really cool how you can like basically add any spell or trap,
yeah, it's got its benefits and negatives.
and then
but
hopefully you're milling like other Kuribos and stuff.
True, and then you get all of the graveyard effects of all of those.
Mhm.
Linguribo is an F tier, not because it's a bad card, but simply because it looks like an angry Linkuribo, but it has no synergy whatsoever with the Kuribo deck. You need a Cyberse monster to summon it.
Level 4 or lower.
Yeah, none of these cards, none of the Kuribos are Cyberse in any sense or any way whatsoever.
I think they're all fiends. I think Link Rebo's a Cyberse, but he's a Link, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have a level.
Yeah,
So
he
you can't
doesn't
even
matter.
go into Link
But the
Rebo.
rest of them are all, for the most part, fiends. And I think, yeah, the Wing Kuribo's a fairy. Some of them are fiends. This one's a machine. Like they've got, but the point is, no matter what they are, some of them are fairies. Most of them are fiends, and yeah, most of them are fiends. We've got a few fairies. Anyone with wing is a fairy, and then the junk one is a machine. But all we know is there's not a single Cyberse monster. So it just has absolutely no synergy whatsoever with the deck, and for that reason, it is where it is, just because it has no synergy. Next is Kuriboh. It is technically better than these because it's easier to summon, but its effects are just very, very bad. It's like a watered-down version of a lot of the other Kuribo monsters.
It's like the Performapole one,
Yeah,
but it's just
yeah, it's
the
just worse.
opposite. Yeah.
It's, instead of
you gaining it, your
yeah,
opponent,
your opponent
gains
gains it,
and then it goes back to your hand.
and then it goes back to your hand, even though the effect activates on field. So
So you have to commit to summoning it, and then you have to put it back in your hand, which is actually worse because Kuribo is one of the biggest playmakers, and then like it's not even in the grave, so you can't even bring it back. So it's like, what's the point?
and it's not a Kuribo in name.
Yeah,
It's a Kuriboh. It's
yeah, you couldn't even bring it back with
yeah, you couldn't. Yeah,
Kuriboh.
you couldn't bring it back. It's like Kuribo's girlfriend. I don't know what the story with this. It's a fairy also, even though it doesn't have wings. That card's a mess. I don't know. I don't even know why it exists or why it's here. But yeah, we included these last 3 because if we didn't include them, you guys would tell us we missed them. So might as well include them. But that is basically it. That is every single Kuribo card that we could find. If we missed anything, please let us know. But as always, thank you for watching. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, check out the other videos on the channel, and please subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Again, thank you so much. Have a terrific day.